Good morning. We'll see if anybody pops in here. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't have my headphones in like normal, so hopefully you guys can hear me. But super productive morning this morning. I just got to finish putting my office together here. Uh, really long walk. I did some reflecting. I like to reflect, and I don't often talk about regrets. Like that shit already happened. The past is the past. Uh, but for the sake of posterity and the sake of maybe learning a lesson, one of the things I really wish that I had done more of, two things I really wish I would have done more of in life, and I'm going to make up for it, is I really wish I would have spent more time reading fiction as a kid. I think if I read more fiction growing up, let me see if I can make this better for you guys here. There we go. I think if I spent more time reading fiction growing up, I would have read more in general. There's like this false dichotomy that you either have to read really enjoyable stuff or stuff that's good for you, like self-help. And one, that's bullshit. And two, I have learned that if you have to choose, you should choose what you're going to love reading. Whether it has rewards or not, reading is awesome, period. And everybody needs to do more of it. So if you have kids or you spend time with kids, encourage them to read anything that'll get them to turn the next page. So I wish I would have spent more time reading fiction. I read a lot now, but I'll never get that time back. And because I was averse to reading fiction, I didn't really enjoy reading that much. Now, the other thing I regret, and to this day, I'm going to make an effort to do better. The other thing I regret is not writing more. I love writing, and I've just never, I get so like, I need to produce shit to the world, and since nobody will ever read my writing, I just don't write much. We do audiobooks in the truck with kids. Awesome. Awesome. This is actually like the first generation, the generation after us, that is going to be more illiterate than the one before us, and that's terrifying. I really wish that I read more fiction growing up, and I'm reading a lot of fiction now to make up for it. And I just like, I read fiction now, and I just, man, if I would have read this as a kid and let my imagination go, what would I have done with my life? Probably a lot more than I have. And I wish I would have written more. I love writing. I love writing so much, and I haven't done it enough to get good at it. And that kind of bothers me. So I'm gonna put a lot of time into writing. I think it's important to write. I think it's important that we share our writing. I will probably never share mine with you guys, but it will get shared. So that's that. Those are probably my two biggest regrets. And I hope if you are younger than I am, or looking to make a change, that you heed those. Well, I was reading, but took a break to watch Nick live. Yes, reading's way better, man. This will get posted. You can always go back to it. I've realized more and more, even in the last 6 months, that I never read fiction. I never read much fiction because like it's not productive. And I've spent the last couple months really delving into some really high quality fiction stuff. And it's probably as or more productive than the self-help stuff. So that's that. Those are my regrets. They're minor. Everything else is what it is. Like there's a million things that I might do differently if I had another chance. But for the sake of posterity, if you have kids, get them to read. Don't make them read shit you don't want to read, right? And if you write shit that you want to write. People will want to read it. So that's that. I think it's sad. Everybody knows how adamant I am about the building strong children. And since I'm not a parent, it's really hard for me to talk to parents about leading by example. So I think it's super important. Even guys, like, what's really cool is Andy Frisella, who's just this big, like, bad, he was 300 pounds. Like, I know he's on a diet now. It's some big, bad motherfucker. His podcast is the motherfucking CEO. Like, he just deep voice, scars on his face because he got stabbed. Like, bad motherfucker. He just wrote a children's book because he's successful. He has a $100 million company. And when he said, he said to himself, how do I impact this world? I get kids to read. Big meathead, owns a supplement company. He says fuck a lot. But he knows if he wants to make an impact on the world, it's to get kids to read. How do you get people to read? You write good shit. So to the people that write good shit, like Dr. Kashi, Jonathan writes really well also. The people that have a knack for writing, I envy you. I wish I would have done it more. And just to recap, I wish I read more fiction as a child. I wish I wrote more. I still, to this day, wish I set aside more time to write. I'm saying it live right now. I'm going to make more time to write. First, I'm going to put this bookshelf together because it looks absolutely ridiculous right now, all lopsided and shit. But moving forward, I'm going to make more time to write. And I am going to continue to encourage children to read and encourage parents to lead by example. That is one of those things that is very, very, very important to me. So that's that. Those are the only regrets I still think about because I can still do something about them. That's all I got. If you don't like reading, so a lot of people follow us and we give book recommendations. If you don't like reading, don't read my fucking self-help start with why, or, what motivates us, the power of habit. Maybe you should just start reading some Dr. Seuss because it's really fun to get to the next page. Like, don't read something because it's got a big golden thing on it that says New York Times bestseller, this will change your life. Like, read something that makes you want to know what happens to the puppy on the next page, right? Like, especially younger kids and new readers, like, just read something that makes you go, oh, what's going to happen next? Like, that's a good book. Whether it makes you a ton of money short term or not, or gives you hips, like, don't struggle through reading. That's something I learned the hard way. Leave that to people like Dr. Kashi, the PhDs in metabolic chemistry. They can read the hard shit. So that's that. Those are my regrets that I still think about because I can still change them. And I'm going to go ahead and fix this bookshelf because it's lopsided and it's kind of stressing me out. So you guys have a great Sunday. I'm going to go eat some waffles or some pancakes. I'm not really sure. And then I have an absolute ridiculous amount of work to do. And I'm super excited because even though it may have a little tiny impact on just the people I know, it's still a fucking impact.